Hey guys and gals, got a sweet one for you today. I'm in my Object 432, platooned up with Hoops. He's in his Tier 9 Bat Chat, and he's already got the Tier 10 Bat Chat, but he enjoys that tank so much that he just wants to play it. I never got to play that tank. I did unlock it from the Tier 8 Bat, but I had already went through the Lorraine and got my Bat Chat, so I never played it. So I couldn't give you much advice on it other than Hoops does a lot of good things in it. Alright, so we're big dogs on Kitamat, standard battle. And what we like to do on Kitamat is take B2, and then if we have enough tanks to support us and snipe for us, we'll get down into G2 and make a play down there. Once you spot out all their snipers down in the southwest corner, then the game pretty much rests on the peninsula or the island or whatever you want to call it out on the edge there. So we don't have a lot of tanks going with us, so we want to spot it, see what's down there, and then that'll determine how hard we push it out. A lot of people like to go down into the middle, but I feel like you get stuck in the hole right away. If you go down there, it's hard to get out. I could be wrong, and I just don't go down there enough to know. One thing the 432 lacks is gun depression, so I was trying to get a shot on their 432. I just couldn't do it, but then people started popping up in the back. There's a T69 sitting up on a ridge. He's tracked. I just want to keep him tracked there. Now I'm targeted, not sure what's targeting me, and then I quickly find out. Lose half my health to Arty. He took my driver as well, and I'm not going to put my driver back in because I just feel like I might not make it out of this situation. There's a Jag Tiger back there. He was trying to back up and he got caught sideways, so I was keeping him perma-tracked. He finally decided to fix it, and then I push out too far, get tracked by the Carnarvon, and I feel like Arty's just about to shoot, so I want to try to leave, fix my driver, and sure enough, Arty slaps down on the hill right there. I noticed they have a medium tank up by our cap. It's that 432 that I spotted right away. He went down into the dip and then pretty much drove all the way up to our cap. And I'm trying to find shots in on him without exposing my side to the guys in the south, which is kind of tricky. The other thing about this tank is lack of gun depression, but it also only has 180 degrees of turret traverse, so you can go 90 off the left and 90 off the right. My Carnarvon pushes over on him, and now I know I just don't have a shot. Hoops goes down into the bottom to kill him. And the Holland Hunt actually shuts him down. And now I'm just kind of confused on what I need to do here. I don't want to spot out for my T30 and potentially maybe that medium tank. The heavy tanks. Hoops in the bottom, so the heavy tanks might be able to cover me, but with no hit points and already looking at that corner, I just feel like the best thing to do is fall back right now. So I let my team know I'm falling back. Hoops is on a sliver, so I told him to try to work through the middle. And we do have a heavy tank over here fighting a Carnarvon. So we have a T-34 fighting a Carnarvon, and I told him that I would meet him there. We'll take the Carnarvon down, and then we'll figure out what we want to do after that. So our T-30 is all alone on that one line. He probably should have fallen back to like B4, get behind the hill and at least be hull down and be in a corridor. And then right as Hoops is about to close in on this Carnarvon, LTG pops up behind him and takes him out. So I must have gave this T-34 some courage because he was hiding until I came over here. And he almost blocks my shot to kill the Carnarvon, and he doesn't have a lot of health, so it's good that I did fit the shot around him. I went to see if the LTG was on our side, and he's not. He's on the other side of the tracks. They have a tortoise just sitting up on the hill sideways. I missed my shot. Now I'm just seeing if I got shots on these heavy tanks. I don't want to sit in the middle of the map and do nothing. I feel like I need to get my gun going if we're going to stay in this. and they have a T-49 that runs through their, like, the beach side opposite of me, gets me spotted. And I'm still looking at the LTG. I was thinking he was the one that got me spotted. Now watching the replay, I see the T-49 ran across that opposite beach. There's a little hill here to keep in between me and the tortoise. And then as I poke over, I realize that the tortoise was looking at me. I didn't think he was actually up on top of the hill, so this was a bad play. I got lucky there. I also have Arty in the back of my mind. I feel like since he left me on a sliver, he's going to be hunting for me. So I hit their T-49 that our Yazi had spotted up there, but our Yazi backs up and no longer is spotting the T-49 for me. So what I want to do is try to find this tortoise and perma-track him, get behind him, hopefully kill him. But then I noticed that these guys are pretty much going to have to drive right in front of my gun. I see the T-49, but he's on the other side of the hill. He went to flank the Yazi. I do have a shot on him. I missed that shot. And now he's going to run away from the Yazi. But I have shots on the IS-6, so I track him in place. Yazi kills the tortoise. I shut him down. Carnarvon killed our T-32, which I'm not even sure where our T-32 was. It's 9-10, close stuff. We both still have Arty. And I'm just waiting for the mutant to come pulling up here. And he's not coming, so I'm going to go find him. Now the T-49 gets spotted again, so I want to try to help my Yazi with that T-49. And the Yazi hits the T-49. And now I have the side of the mutant. So as long as the Yazi can fight the scout, our King Tiger kills himself, their T-49 shuts our Arty down, I kill the mutant, and now we're down 11-11, really 3-4, because our King Tiger committed suicide. And hopefully this Yazi can shut the T-49 down, and he does, he shuts him down. So it's 3v3. We're all sitting on slivers. I'm on 156. T-34 is almost dead. You can see he's targeted by their Arty. Obviously, we can't see that in-game, but you can see it on the replay. And then our Yazi is beat to crap, too. He's down to 136. So their Arty lands his shot, kills our T-34. Now it's a 2v3, and really we're kind of in a tight situation because in LTG, spotting for a 53-55, not to mention we're not sure where the Carnarvon is. I think he's in the middle, but I'm not 100% sure. So the Yazi takes a defensive location in the little gully there, which is a great defensible location. However, I feel like we can still fight this out, pending that the Carnarvon doesn't have that many hit points left. And sure enough, I spot him coming up here with 500 hit points. I'm going to try to side scrape out. My turret is strong, but if he hits my cupolas, that is a weak point. It's not an easy pen, but I get a high roll there for 400. Now he's on 117 hit points. I really wish my Yazi would push out and kill him, but he's not going to. So I just take the risk. If I die, I die. I knew I was going to be hulled down, and my cupolas were a tough shot for him. So shut him down. And now, I'm not sure where Arty is, but I feel like this mountain will give me cover, and it doesn't. Arty swings and misses. He made it right over that mountain, so I'm lucky to be alive right now. Tight stuff. I really feel like the games lately have come down to the wire, and I'm not sure why that is. A lot of people say that the good players have left the game. But I don't know that that's really that true. Like, maybe some of them have, but I feel like I'm playing against good players in the end. So it could potentially just be that the newer players die early in the match, and then the good players kind of fight out the middle. And then if whatever's left is either excellent player or probably like a scrubby player or a new player, arguably. I don't know, it's really hard to say. I was talking to Federian about it, and he just kind of made the example of when we used to get the days where we lost a lot of games, this is probably what these games are. And now we're just good enough to be able to defend it, if that makes sense. Alright, so I'm going to make a play on Arty. I asked the Yazzie to come with me. He didn't want to. And they're not spotted yet, but you can see they're making their way over towards my Yazzie. I figured the LTG would be making a play to spot for our Arty, or for his Arty, and slowly try to creep up on the cap. So you know what, I'm actually just going to switch to our Yazzie. The Yazzie starts to make a play, and the 53-55 gets spotted, and he stops, which is probably the worst thing that he could do. Now, to me, I'm just thinking the LTG is working his way in behind the Yazzie. Now, 53-55 has been parked and aiming this whole time, so for the Yazzie to try to make a play on him, I think he should have probably just went back into the little hidey hole that he was in before when I was up there with him. Alright, so Yazzie fails. It's all up to me now. I wish we had stuck together. I wish he came with me. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, so now I have to do this with 156 hit points. I have a minute 36. They only have one on cap. If they had two, I'd probably make a decently aggressive play. But alternatively, I think I probably would have made the same play as I do here. Just maybe sped the process up a little bit. So what I want to do here is get my binos up and try to stay unspotted. If I can get free shots into them, that's my preferred method here. If they can't see me, I can keep my 156 hit points. So it's kind of a crappy spot, but sometimes you can see to the cap. So once I get my binos up, I'm hoping that I see something, and I don't. So I'm just going to move up to the next ridge. You see I'm staying to the left side, and I realized that I was just about to hit that tree, so I stopped just in time. I don't want them to know where I'm coming from. And I want to use this knocked over tree in the bush. And now I'm starting to push the clock a little bit. 35 seconds left. Put my binos up. I don't have anything spotted yet. I got one more ridge, and then I'm just going to have to push it in there. I'm thinking whether I should use the ridge or not. And I decide that the high ground is better, because even if I went to the left of this hill, I would have had to still jump over the tracks to get a good shot on them. So using this high ground helps me out. I missed my shot though, so I only have 5 seconds, and I do get him. So I get a reset. Now I have a minute 37 to do whatever I want and make it happen. So as I shut him down, I spot the scout coming through the middle, and I don't really have time to set up a defense anywhere, so I'm just going to fight this guy. Try to get a snapshot in. He tries to return fire. I don't know a lot about the LTG. That was another tank that I had already gotten down that line. So I don't know his pen, his alpha, anything like that. But he ends up hitting me. I ram him. I'm down to 49 hit points. And he just can't. He tries to go for a tracking shot with an HE shell, it looks like. And really, because when you face hugging this thing, it's pretty tough to pen if they don't have any gun depression. And me knowing that he's a Russian tank, I know he doesn't have any gun depression, especially when he's that close to the ground. So I shut it down, a close match right there, down to the wire, pull it out. Send an apology to the Yazzie. Yeah, I told him I preferred him with me, but sorry that I left him there to fight the two guys in the end. Glad that I could pull it out in the end. And he said, don't worry about it, man, GG. Let's see, endgame stats here. So it was only a first class, but it was a really fun match to not only play but to commentate on. Got a Spartan medal for ricocheting non-penetration from an enemy player that would have potentially killed me. Defender defending the base, obviously. Pulled a top gun down, and then a high caliber. Our Yazi did 3k damage, 3 kills, so definitely couldn't have done it without him. T-34, not sure what he was doing all game. I'm pretty sure he was the last heavy alive on our team before it was down to us two. He did 1,800 damage in the whole frame of the game. Our Waffle did some damage, did some nice work. The T-30 in the beginning really didn't do anything. 1,000 damage, 1 kill. He kind of put himself in a bad situation. And then, really on their team, their arty did 1,700 damage, nearly killed me at the beginning, so I got some sweet revenge at the end. Their LTG only did 279 damage, got 1 kill, so that was between me and Hoops probably. And then their Tortoise did 2,500 damage, and he also missed a shot on me when I was broadside to him. It is a small tank, so it's kind of tough to hit. Not sure how much he aimed on me, but the Tortoise does have a pretty accurate gun, so if he was fully aimed, I lucked out and made a bad play, but RNG was on my side. That's really all I got for you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.